The first experience I would say was traumatic because it was my first time seeing blood, seeing maggots and bodily fluids, and not to say more about the smell itself. The smell for me personally is lingering. It's kind of stick onto you. You know, it follows you back.
We see the notes everywhere. She has been telling herself to be strong, I'm okay, I can go through this, everything, this and that. But unfortunately, she also decided to end her life. Welcome to Clean Your Toilet podcast. We are here for confession of the Unconventional, and I'm Sarina.
Hi, I'm Rahman. I'm 43 years old, and I work as a trauma cleaner. Yeah. Both of us trauma cleaner. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Angjolie and I'm a funeral director.
Hi.
So we are very interrelated in a way.
Yes, yeah.
Agree. So, Angjolie, what is the hardest thing that you had to make peace with choosing and being unconventional?
Wow. What do I have to make peace with? That sometimes time is not on my hand. Yeah, because for the work we do, a lot of time we don't know when things will happen, when we get a call. And sometimes I'm in the middle of a movie and then suddenly, that's why I often sit on the aisle seat. And if I know I'm on standby, I always get a ticket that is on the aisle seat just in case I get a call. I have to step out. And it actually happened a few times. Or I can be at a dinner function, or I can meet a friend and then I say, hey, hi, good to meet you. And then I get a call. I say, hey, sorry, you go in first, get a drink. And then by the time I go in, it's like he's on his second drink, right? So I think that I have to come to terms with where maybe sometimes I can plan, but sometimes things can fall out of my plan.
Actually, we face the similar situation too. Yeah.
Yeah, we are similar in that sense.
Correct.
Yeah, because I think maybe it can help me understand at what point do you all come in? Because, nowadays we do have cases where someone passed away alone and then maybe by the time family call you, or usually is it the family or the funeral directors who call you?
It's a mix of both, actually, I would say. It would be both the funeral director, it can also be families, and it can even be their employers or friends.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. And the turnaround time?
Okay, for the turnaround time, for us, we will always be standby 24/7. But we would have to be activated 2 hours prior after they confirm with the cleaning.
Oh, I see. So do you get past midnight calls and then
Yes, we do.
You do, and then you have to go straight to
as late
clean.
as 3 a.m. also be done before.
Oh, wouldn't you disturb the neighbors? I mean, to do the
because
cleaning.
one thing for us as a trauma cleaner, we don't use heavy machinery. Okay, so I mean, if you were to say that if let's say we were to disturb the neighbors, prior to that, I believe, the police presence, with all those heavy movement outside of the unit, I believe the neighbors would be aware of what is happening.
Yes,
And if they were to know the actual causes of the commotion, right, I believe they're pretty sure that they will be understanding enough to know that there are some cases that's happening inside the house. So I believe they will be very understanding in a way.
Oh, I see. I'm very curious. So y'all never say just now, but are you a husband and wife? Huh?
Yes, we are.
So maybe I'm curious, maybe for people who are listening, is there any struggles or maybe the pro and cons working together as, in this business, and then also maybe not the flip side? Because if you are makan together, suddenly you get a call, you two can go together, right? Because I don't have that luxury. So, my husband is not in the business. So I want to hear your experience.
Okay, for me, personally, I would say that we both form a very dynamic partners, both in our marriage as well in our business. Okay, it's just that the downside of it is that, whenever we had our arguments, so we tend to mask it off in front of client, in front of our workers. We just have to be professional. So, for me to change face, from smiling, then suddenly I have to, in front of her, I'm angry, but I have to smile. I have to sayang her. These are the things that we as a husband and wife understand. When it comes to work, It's
We are
work.
professional.
Yeah.
We don't bring personal issue inside there.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
But by the time we entered, right, because we are already on like a good side, it
After
like
that finish.
somehow we reconcile naturally. Yeah.
Through the job, and after
Through
that
the
you
job,
clean
yeah.
away the problem as well. Huh?
You help me.
You kiki one, you pretend touch her a bit,
Yeah.
sayang her a bit. Yeah.
yes.
Something like that. Lah.
Oh, but how about like when you, because you started off as a cleaning company first.
Yes.
But how did you then come into this very specialized and pretty much very niche to this work? Very meaningful too.
Actually, this was not planned. Yeah, because all this while we are doing as a general disinfection cleaning. So we started off as a disinfection cleaning company. Back then, when like most of our clients are all like doing post-reno cleaning, mattress cleaning. So we never come across this kind of specialized cleaning. Only that one day that he had a call that the caller said that he wants to do a disinfection cleaning for his late aunt unit. So for us, we assumed that it's a normal type of cleaning. But I was not there during that day. He was there with our worker. So our staff actually and him came to the unit and they saw the police tape. So when they saw the police tape back there, they was like wondering what is going on. Is this, what kind of cleaning are we dealing with? Yeah. So, but the caller hasn't arrived yet. So they were waiting for the police to arrive together with the caller. So once the caller came up to the unit, and they also already sensed there was a funny, weird smell also somewhere around the corridor, but they couldn't figure out what is it. So when they stepped over in front of the unit, right, and when the caller opened up the door, that's where
The smell changed 360.
Yes.
I mean, I believe you would know how.
So you never prepare lah?
No.
No face mask, no PPE.
The only mask that I used was just the normal surgical mask. The 3-ply
it
mask.
hits you, yeah. So the body was already transferred out
Yes.
by the police.
Correct.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So no information. Now you know to ask the question. Like, what's the purpose of the cleaning, right? Oh, wow.
Yes.
So how was that first experience? I think
Okay,
for
for
you,
me, the first experience I would say was traumatic because it was my first time seeing blood, seeing maggots and bodily fluids, and not to say more about the smell itself. So I think the smell for me personally is lingering. It's kind of stick onto you. It follows you back. So during my first experience of trauma cleaning, I told her that I wouldn't be doing another trauma cleaning. Okay, but I know that the word is really trauma cleaning because back then, right, we thought that all this kind of cleaning, specialized cleaning, is done by the police or is their agency. So it never come across our mind that we'll be doing trauma cleaning someday. So I just tell her, okay, if let's say there's another case, right, I will not be doing because of the traumas. Then she said, okay lah. But because for us, we rely heavily on media social. So back then it was Facebook. So I just posted.
How many years ago?
That was I think most than
11 years.
11 years ago. Yeah. So after that, when we posted out, I don't know that it became viral, but we just let it be as it is. I think a few months later, we received another phone call. And this time around, they said that they wanted us to do a trauma cleaning. So I asked her, so should we do or not? Then she said,
Me being the opportunist, I so say to him, just try because you have done before, right? So
who knows, it might be easier.
Yeah.
Because the first time it was very, very difficult. Okay, she said it might be easier because for myself and my worker, my worker already left because it was too traumatic for him that he wouldn't want to take another job. Okay, so I told her that I don't have another worker to do this trauma cleaning. Then she said that she was going to volunteer. I said, okay lah, maybe she will help me. It will ease my job. So what happened was that the second time we went, it was worse than the first.
yeah.
But for her, it's the first time.
For her, it was the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so because the first time was just a general, I would say just the normal, straightforward. It's quite straightforward. Back there, we would say it's very difficult, but now we would say it's straightforward.
Yeah.
But the second time that I went, it was actually a hoarder's house. There are a lot of items inside the house. So for us to get through the blood, the remains of the decomposed body, right, we need to remove as much as possible all those items inside the living room.
Because he died in the middle of his junks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a very big challenge for us.
And the two of you,
Just two of
Yes.
us, correct.
how long did you take?
Okay, the best part is she had a heat stroke. So instead of she
Helping
making
you.
my job easier, right, helping me, right, she double up my anxiety. you know, so now I have to decide, okay, to finish off or to take care of her.
Of course,
okay.
yeah.
So I mean, being the husband, right? So I have to protect my wife, right? To save my wife. So I just bring her out, you know, let her take some fresh air, give her some drink. Then I proceeded inside alone. So it took me the entire day just to remove a fraction of the item inside the house, but we are able to remove the bodily fluid.
fluids.
Okay.
So it's very, very tiring.
Of course, because you don't have, typically a whole entire like spring cleaning, but yet now is more than that. But how do you deal with the fact that, what do you do with the items that is not in contact with the bodily fluids for these hoarders?
For hoarders, right, those that are not in contact and we assess that it's actually safe, right? So we will not touch, we just spray the disinfectant. Okay, we just spray disinfectant. It's just that those items that is contaminated, we will spray, then we will dispose of.
I see.
So back then, I think we use a lot of trash bag, but it's not the normal kind. It's the normal kind of trash bag. It's very small, so we bought a lot. I even had to go downstairs to buy extra
More.
trash bag.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Wow. So subsequently, that was your first experience.
Yes, the first and only.
Yeah.
Oh, first and only. So when was how did it evolve even more after that?
Only recently, I start to follow him. I think about 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I start to follow him back. Yeah, but I know that my weakness is blood. Yeah, I couldn't say, but I'm there to see everything and to learn also how they do their trauma cleaning, the SOP. So as time goes by until now, I don't touch the cleaning part. I lead the team to do it because there are times that he's not around. So I will be there to guide the team what they should do.
Just to share you, because I think, as you know, for death, right, it doesn't just come like that. You know, you just come without you realizing, anytime, anywhere, correct? So what happened was that, as more people get to know about DDQ services, right, about trauma cleaning, so we have cases like, for example, in a day, we can have 3 to 4 cases. So I cannot be everywhere at one time. So that's where I had to rope her in to help me when we need to separate our waste to do the cleaning.
And how many people do you put in a job usually?
Per team, there will be around 3 to 4% per team.
Wow. It's very, I find that it's very labor intensive.
It is.
Yeah, and then I guess like now trauma cleaners are maybe more and more required. Because there are people who pass away, I guess, living alone, and they don't get discovered until much, much later. And then by then, everything is already, the smell, I can imagine.
So for your side, right, what trauma have you experienced in your line of work?
I think actually when I, know that I'm going to speak to a trauma cleaner, one of the experience I had was there was a lady who actually committed suicide. She took her life. And we were called in by the family to ask whether we could provide the trauma cleaning. And what happened was we don't really have the equipment and we didn't know who to call, right? Because I didn't know about you guys back then. And one of my team member, he already left the company. He shared with me, boss, actually I can do it. He's an embalmer. So I said, you confident to do it? I said, yeah, I'm very confident. This one, to him, is chicken feet. All right. So I said, okay, but make sure, because we all have the PPE and all that. And then he said, I will go with one, actually he will go with his son. So I said, are you sure you want your son to help? He said, well, my son is very hands-on. I said, okay. So he went, he took a before and after picture, and I was really shocked by how, I'm sure you will know, everything was clean. So why was it traumatic was because I think the way she took her life, she wanted to slit. She thought by slitting her wrist would help to end her life faster, but it didn't.
Yes,
so, it take very long unless you corrode it.
Yes,
but it didn't. So then she dragged herself to the kitchen. Then she chose to fall. Yeah, so there was a trail of like blood around. So it wasn't maggots or it wasn't decomposed body.
Yeah, it's
but
fresh blood.
Yeah, fresh blood. And I remember having to meet the family members and I asked them where would they like to meet. And my first thought was, I'm not sure whether that place was a good reminder for them. But they actually said, no, we want to meet back there. So when they went back, the first reaction was, wow, you guys did a great job. Like they can't see any reminder of how she chose her life. Yeah, passed away. So I think that was pretty traumatic for me. But the embalming, we took about 3 days to fix her because she landed quite badly. So most Singaporean, you know, like let's say in Singapore, I shouldn't say Singaporean, most of the cases where when they take their life and they jump off a building, usually they have broken limbs, right? But the face still quite intact. But for her, because she was crawling and then she reached out and she fall, just like throwing herself forward. So she didn't land well. So she actually damaged her skull. So we took about 3 days to fix and make sure she's still
Looks okay.
visible, but maybe she won't look like how she looks like, but we managed to at least allow family members to spend time and to still see her face. So I think for us, you know, as a funeral company, the first part we need to protect is the face.
The face.
The rest I can hide, right? The neck down, I can hide. But reconstruction for the face took time because you need to inject, you need to fix. First, you need to form the skull. Then after that, you need to let the chemicals sit in also. So it took a while and we had a very understanding family. So we told the family we could start immediately, but maybe it will be a closed casket because the effect of the embalming to reconstruct may not be most ideal if we just quickly inject. You know, sometimes it needs the chemical to set in. So when we said, why do we start the funeral 3 days later? And they said yes. So we took a lot of time just to make sure she's taken care. So when the family spent time with her, we cover up all the injury marks. So she still look, you know, she's quite vain. So she loved, you know, having her makeup, her hairdo. So at least that gave a lot of comfort for the family, knowing that, you know, we can't tell because people are probably questioning, hey, how she die, why she die. You know, a lot of capable people, right? So usually they will go to the casket to take a look. And imagine if it's a closed casket, then likely people will be like, oh, you know, I heard she jumped, you know,
yes.
hey, I heard this and that. So, but by having the opportunity to see her and like ask themselves like, did she jump? Doesn't look like she jumped, right? So you sort of switch off all those people, capable people who spread unnecessary things. But how about y'all? Do y'all have
For us,
this kind of cases?
We do have cases where it comes to suicide. Okay, we have cases whereby, you know, the helper committed suicide and the body was discovered by, you know, very young kids, very innocent kids. Okay, but then one story that really struck us the most is not about the helper itself. Is a recent case that we handled whereby, you know, the family went to a relative funeral. Okay, but when the daughter came back, she was greeted by her father hanging, you know, himself at home. So to me, that was a double
blow for her.
Double tragedy for the families. So for us as a trauma cleaner, okay, for us, what we important is not only the cleaning part. We have to emphasize on the respect, the care that is going to be given to the grieving family, the family that is grieving. Then at the same time, we have to show them that, you know, we know their feeling, because at that point of time, they are very overwhelmed. They are very stressed up. So we have to not only offer, you know, we have to offer comfort. We have to offer them, you know, that we understand what you're facing through, and it's never going to be an easy way. Okay, but we are here for you. So it's not only about the cleaning, it's more of the empathy towards the grieving family.
Yes.
So am I right that when you guys come into the picture, usually the deceased is not there?
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
It's only the remains lah.
Yeah. So I actually, when you talk about the suicide case, was sort of brought back this memory where I also had a case where they called me and they said, oh, can you handle this case? this person, so it came from someone who called me because asking for help, and he said my client's father just hanged himself. Okay, can you go and handle and just get a doctor to certify? I said, hang on, if he hanged himself, then I can't. But when he told me the address, I was like next block only, very, very near. So I said, tell you what, why don't I head over and then I look at the situation, then I'll advise. Because usually you need to activate the police, right? Because the cause of death.
Correct.
So I went over and I was greeted by the son and the wife. So it was an elderly father who passed away and chose to hang himself. So that morning when the son went out to work, then the wife, the husband closed the door. So the wife knocked on the door and said, hey, I'll go and buy breakfast for you. Then the husband gave her like, just go, like very very pictic, like very angry, like just like brush her away, like go. So she didn't think much. She was like, yeah, go and buy for you. So she left, came back, knocked on the door. The door was locked. So she knocked and then said, hey, your breakfast is here. Come out and eat. A few minutes later, no response. Again, knock again. Then I think by the third time, she's like, oh, something is not right. So called the son. So then the son rushed home and then find the key to open the door. So there he was hanging. So I remember when I entered, they were very calm. I think they were not hysterical yet. So yet, that's why I use the word yet. So I went in, uncle was still there. And I remember the son said, should I lift him up to bring him down? I said, you cannot touch anything now. I'm going to help you call the police. So I called the police and immediately, I think less than 30 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, boom, response. 4 police car came. There were probably about 8 officer or eight officer, someone with the camera. And then, so I sat down with the wife and the wife was also very calm. So I was also quite shocked by the whole calmness, right? Like, most of the time, people would have been hysterical.
Yes.
But they probably were hysterical, then they accepted. So when I was sitting with the auntie, I kept her, company while the son, were going into the room trying to talk to the police. Then one officer would sit down next to the wife and ask the question. And he would ask, oh, where were you? How do you discover? What time was it? Then after that, okay, so they would take notes. Then I was still like chit-chatting with her, trying to
console her.
Console her and keep her with me. Because just a few years ago, I have done a double suicide before. I'll share with you a bit later. So I remember better to stay with her just in case, touch wood.
In case, yes, correct.
Yeah,
her emotional, triggered.
So I stayed with her and then the next officer come again, ask the same freaking question. Where were you? What time was it? What do you have for breakfast? And then I was like, wow. So like 4 officers came.
All asked the same questions.
And then I was a bit upset for her. Like, come on, can't you see she's grieving?
Yes.
Then after that, at one point, they wanted to speak to her. So I walked away and walked outside and I saw the main officer, the lead. So I said, I'm very curious, why you all keep asking the same question? I said, oh, we just want to make sure that their testimony is in line. I said, oh, that makes sense, right? So so after they took pictures, then after that, they lift him down. And that's where the transfer team came. So I remember this family vividly because at the end of the funeral, they actually gave me, the son bought our team a box of Rocher. Ferrero Rocher chocolate. Then the mom said to him like, you buy this chocolate. After they eat, they will not remember us. And then she said, oh, Miss Ang, I bought you this. And it was actually a pendant. I still keep it. It's a pendant, like pearl pendant. And she said, just a very simple pendant. And she just wanted to extend her appreciation. Because I think that point in time, after I understood why Uncle took his own life was because they only have one son. And he felt that his illness is going to drag their financial needs. So that's why he chose that way. And I think a lot of times when I look at that, a lot of times it could be when elderly come to that state of mind.
Yes, I agree.
Correct.
I agree with you because
I'm sure you
somehow
encounter.
that's what the daughter shared to us also. But she was.
I think they felt that they don't want, because let's say they are no longer have the strength, so they don't want their whoever is going to take care be a burden.
Exactly. So I'm actually very curious, because the two of you are Muslim, and then I'm Chinese, right? So some of the Chinese, they do have certain ritual. Like when they take care of a departed body or attend a funeral, they will do some cleansing. What about for
I think for
work?
us,
Do you all have to do that?
We have to do the same thing like what, I mean, regardless whether you are Muslim or Christian or Hindu, because for us in DDQ Services, right, we do not see color, race or religion. Okay, we do everything the same. Okay, it's all about being humanity, being respectful to both, the deceased and the grieving family. Okay, so when you're talking about the cleansing wise, so for us, we will always pay our respect before because it's very important for us to pay respect when we entered someone's house. Okay, so for us, it's more about finding closure. Whenever you enter the house, the house will be very messy with the smell, everything. So we have to ensure that we manage to remove as much as possible. In fact, we have to make it as clean as possible.
Sure.
No smell, no stain. Then at the end of the day, we have managed to bring the family members to go inside the house safely, then without any guilt or shame. Because usually for the next of kin, especially when their parents pass away, so they are afraid that people might think that, they neglected the parents.
Oh,
okay,
yes.
But it's never been the case. It's usually because, like what you mentioned earlier on, is that the elderly, they don't want to be a burden. Okay,
It's true.
so they know that their children, they have their own responsibility. So they don't want to be a burden to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to this unfortunate incident, the children would feel that they feel ashamed. They feel guilty that, I did not come and visit my parents, that kind of thing. Or they're afraid that people might think that they neglected the parents. In fact, it's not that they neglected, it's that the parents wouldn't want them to be a burden. Sometimes they even have, like children want to install cameras.
Yeah, they
inside
don't
that.
want
They don't want because it's the privacy, correct?
Right, yeah. So actually there's a lot of similarity, in fact, because over for us, because when I see the departed, my team and we will always pay respect to the departed first and then speak to the departed. I find that helps with my work. When I take care of them, I will introduce who I am and what we're going to be planning, how we're going to be planning. And maybe I believe sometimes they are also listening and then to guide the family members in choosing what they will like, how many days. Sometimes they already decided, so I will then tell the departed, your family has chosen, they want to do a 3 days wake or 5 days wake, and then they know that you want to go home, so we'll do it at your house. So I think that respect is very crucial. Because why I asked about the cleansing, actually I don't know whether you know, but Cantonese or maybe some people I know, for me I don't do it because day to day I see, right? They will buy pomelo leaf, flowers and lime. And then they will come home from a funeral and shower with those flowers to cleanse themselves. Another one that I know who was doing part-time with us, and then of course now she's not doing it. I asked her, so what's and she said to me like, every time I come and help out at a funeral, I have to call my mom and say, I'm coming home, ma. She said, okay, you wait at the lift first. I call you, then you come. I said, okay. So I said, so what does your mom do? She said, my mom will prepare a bowl of like charcoal fire, and then before she enters the house, she must jump over, like cross over.
Okay.
But I think for you all, do you all have something new, right?
For us, no, because for us, we believe in Allah, the only God, right? So we whatever that we encounter, whatever our daily activities, we leave it to Him. Okay, so but in a way for us is that how we differentiate, right? Is that we believe solely that Allah is our protector. Okay, so He will protect us, He will protect the deceased and the family. Okay, it's just a matter of, like what you mentioned, we just being respectful. When we enter someone's house, we have to be respectful, and then we have also to be transparent. Because you see, I think you will know, especially when we come to unattended death. Okay, the house, there's nobody inside the house, and in fact, whenever there's a decomposition happening, right? Yeah. You are not allowed to enter until the cleaning is being done.
Oh, the cleaning.
The cleaning.
So cleaners go first, then you'll come in.
No, we go in first. We are the cleaners.
Okay.
We are the cleaners. You go in first. We make sure everything is clean. It's safe. Then the family members can go inside. So for us, trust is key. Okay, to build that trust, we need to be transparent.
How do you then?
So for us, that's why. For us, everything need to be documented. Every job before we accept, we will tell them what is expected. Then when the team arrive, we will actually show them through a video recording the current condition of the house. So they are aware that, okay, this is exactly what happened inside the house. Okay, so once we done that, we also have a live recording during the cleaning.
Okay.
So at least they know that what we are doing. Then after that, once we are done, we will do a final recording. Then we actually invite the whole the family to go inside and do a final inspection. So the final inspection is to make sure that everything is in order, everything is clean, there's no stain, there's no smell. Okay, because I believe that for them, just to share with you, we have several cases whereby family members, right? I mean, we have other players in this industry. We have, the trauma cleaners itself. We also have funeral companies. Okay. So sometimes based on their feedback, we were actually called the second time after the first cleaning was done.
Yeah.
So meaning that because they actually engaged another company to do the cleaning, but the cleaning was done subpar. Like for example, okay, let's say the deceased died in front of the bedroom door. So the cleaning company will just clean that area only. They will not clean the maggot that is actually crawled way after out of Okay, so there's still smell. So when we were called, right? So when we see the smell was still very, very strong. So the cleaning company wouldn't want to take responsibility.
Sure.
And they don't want to pay any refund. Okay, so we just come in. I mean, unfortunately, the family had to pay extra for us. Okay, so we have to re-clean the entire area. Then there are clothing that is soiled with bodily fluids, which actually the previous company just threw over.
They put it on a bed.
Yes.
So the bed has become contaminated.
Yeah.
So for your side, right, when you work with death, right, what does it shows you about death? And what is a message that you can send to the living people out there?
Yeah, I always say that the master of my life is actually death. Like I think I learned to live my life very differently after knowing about death. In fact, I was just talking to a Grab driver. We don't know why we became philosophical. He started asking me about my work, starting to ask me about religion, about my outlook of life. So yeah, I find that maybe that in this universe, we are all on earth to sort of have our own journey, right? Our journey is maybe in this lifetime, we need to learn something. So I'm very sensitive to a voice inside my head when I hear this word, hey, how come this keep happening? Then it's a trigger for me to know, I'm not done something different. That's why I keep happening, the same thing happening, right? So that means this must be a lesson I need to learn, but I haven't learned yet. So I need to figure out what do I need to do differently so that the outcome is different. And so I think because I always believe that we are souls, we're souls on earth. So that animation show, Soul, I thought it was a brilliant way to share with my daughter what people are here for. And then, the soul goes, when you pass away, then the soul, and then how we get connected with one another. So in this lifetime, I always ask the universe, like, what is the lesson I need to learn now? And then what have I not learned? And if the answer keep coming back, it means, I haven't learned. I need to learn and break away from the cycle. So I think that part I've learned to live life. And also one thing I realize is, people always say, hey, you cannot tell your funeral director, you're too happy. I said, but it's not about, it's not that I don't grieve about the passing, but I celebrate the life. And I think that we are all on earth to bring a lot of values.
Purpose,
and then learn a lot of values. So when I leave, I know that, I've come to learn, and my graduation, my life graduation, I graduate from this life, right? And I think that is something to rejoice, to learn that, hey, I've learned a lot, I've impacted people, or I have accepted a lot of knowledge, and my soul has been enriched. Maybe hopefully another lifetime, I don't know, reincarnation. So I think that gives me a very, I'm very careful and intentional of how I spend my time. So I think that helps to shape how I live life. What about you? Because you
I think for us, I believe that what we learn not only from the deaf and even from the living is that we just have to be present.
Communication.
All these are very important because for us, we see that, our body can be there, but our soul, it can be elsewhere. So for us, we take it into consideration that, we just have to be present so that people can remember us for who we are in a good way.
Yeah. But how do you all, like, let's say example, because both of you, you run your business and then maybe you go part-time together. Is he always on the phone checking, or how do you all manage that? Like, because sometimes I can be on my phone and then I have to remind myself, one thing we do at home is during meal time, there's no phone. That one we are quite like no phone on the table. But when we are both working, it's like, wow, that mood. And my daughter is the one who's like, Mommy, can you put down your phone? Because sometimes it's work message, we have to respond fast, or I have to step away and say, okay, I have a work call now. Or before I start a meal, I have to say, I'm waiting for a call. So once I have the call, I have to step away. So what about the two of you?
For us, it's very simple because we let known that people know what, even my children, they know what we are doing. They know what is expected of us. Okay? Yes. In our line of work, that means time is very pressure. It's a treasure.
Yeah.
Okay. So for us, we can spend our time right now having meal, but when it comes to work, right, because we always have our phone on standby, so we have to let them know that, okay, this is a responsibility that we already undertook and we have to make sure that we do it. So as long as we have that mutual understanding agreement between us, husband and wife, between our kids, I think there wouldn't be any issue because they really understand what is our purpose of life. Because in life, we need to have a purpose. I mean, I believe for yourself, you know that what is your purpose in life, right? So whether you want to contribute to the society or how you want to contribute to your family, to your partners, this is what the purpose in life is all about. So for me, I think it's very simple. We just have to be present. In other words, in other cases, whatever that comes in between, if it's our responsibility, we just go ahead with it.
Exactly. How about your children? Do they come into your work and like, oh, Papa, Mommy, I want to come and see your work?
Yes. Yes.
The eldest son did follow us as a part-time during his school holidays.
Whenever he's free, he will actually follow us. Just to, I would say it's a good thing because at least he know what life is all about. I mean, okay, just to share with you, for us, right? For us, when we enter a house, what greeted us is normally the emptiness. And then knowing the fact that someone already actually died inside it, maybe it's a slow death, we always felt that emptiness. For yourself, when you are face to face with the deceased, do you feel the emptiness also, or?
No, actually, for me, not really the emptiness. More memories and responsibilities. And I'm sensitive to energy lah. So getting to see maybe the energy, like, oh, is there something I need to know in terms of dynamics? Yeah, actually you can tell, right? I'm sure later I want to hear your story, like how does the house feel when you enter? Also sometimes make you think about what this person's life, right? Yeah, it tells you a story.
It's a two different perspective. One for us is when we are entering the house. For you is you are face to face.
Yes.
So we're going to tell us two different stories, but somehow it relates to one destiny.
Actually, the movie Move to Heaven, the Korean one. So from for those who haven't watched, I think it's a brilliant show. I really love that show. And actually that show, I think I binge watch it. Like I finished in one day because I wanted to understand more about what does trauma clearance do, and then how he discovered the stories, right? So have there ever been a case you enter and the emptiness hits you, then as you are doing the cleaning, do you get a sense of what kind of personality or like, what was his life story like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because somehow the house itself, everything inside the house will tell you a story.
Correct.
So we can roughly visualize the final moments of his chapter.
Yes.
Based on whatever that we see in the house, it really tells us a story. So it tells us whether the person is having a good relationship or not, or whether is he having his own his mental capacity is at the extreme. We would we are able to see?
There's one of the house that he went is a suicide case. So before she actually end her life, right, she actually write notes to herself. Like, I'm going to be okay. Yeah, today, I'm gonna be a better day tomorrow. Like, she motivate herself. Yeah, and we see the notes everywhere. Yeah, until that one final day, she couldn't take it. But the house when he went is kind of sad because of we see the notes everywhere. She has been telling herself to be strong, I'm okay, I can go through this, everything, this and that. But unfortunately, she also decided to end her life because I think what she wrote is not synchronized with her heart. Yeah, her mental capacity is different. Like, she just telling herself to be strong, but her mind is not strong.
I think this one is quite interesting because I also want to find out, because for us, right, when we handle this kind of situation, the house is able to tell us a story. So for your case, if let's say you were to handle, I would say, someone who actually committed suicide, do you see a face of like regret or anything that the expression is sharing with you?
I can talk about depending on the cause of death. Some suicide cases are through hanging, or some is through their sleep, where they consume maybe some method and then let them sleep peacefully. Generally, you do see that, and then you do see that actually suicide cases affect me the most, because I always ask myself, what is like for us, maybe we're like, people will say, get over it, why can't you get over it? But actually the struggle inside them is something we can't see, and you can't even tell. Because most of the time, the happiest people are actually maybe going through depression.
Yes, that's what we face also. Because we came across actually one of the podcaster. Yeah, he's actually one of his good friends. And coincidentally, we are the ones who clean the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very curious. How does it... Because actually, as you're talking about, I'm trying to connect... When you're talking about the lady, I'm already connecting with one case that I took care. So I was just thinking about how... we are all intertwined.
Yes.
Years after, I can be talking to somebody, and then as this person is talking, I suddenly said, hang on, can you tell me more about the family? And then I said, oh, actually, I took care of the funeral. And that actually gave closure to this particular girl. And I think that's the part about, our work. Like, sometimes when you're talking about it, something comes out, right?
Yeah.
And when you share about, like, I'm strong and all that, in fact, just last month, I went to take a course to be a Samaritan, and I wanted to learn about professional first aid, because I also ask myself this question: am I able to stop someone who may have negative thoughts? Because I talk about actually in my book, I spoke about a case where she actually planned everything with us, and then she took her life, but we didn't see that part of her. Yeah, we didn't see that coming. The second one was, I saw it coming. I refused to take the case, thinking that because I didn't fulfill your wish, right? Or like I leave it hanging, you will not take the extra step. But because she knows me, she know what I do already. So she left a note. And then to initiate that we will take care of her funeral.
Yeah, I think that's quite an irony because we, in fact, one of the case that we handle, right? Okay, recently, the wife passed away few months prior to his death. Okay, but it's not suicide. It's just due to the wife due to cancer, but the husband is a natural death. Okay, but what struck us, right, is when we enter the bedroom, right, of the master room, what we see on the bed is the will. And also the company, the funeral company that he would like to engage prior to him, like as if like he already planned everything.
Yeah. So
in fact, even the will is actually passed. It's already nominated to his niece, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's like what I see that he wants people to know that after his death, right, everything is already planned for, and you just have to follow.
Yeah. So having to see that particular case that you share, what about your view about funeral? Like, for us, we just have to be ready for death. That's why I say what we mean to be ready, that means for us, we both have to be financially and also spiritually and emotionally. Okay, so for me, I always tell my wife and my children that,
always remember me for me being present. Okay, and then at my end, I already, have all this policy, prepared. Should anything happen to me, who will be my beneficiary, everything. So I have everything prepared, so I got nothing to worry. In fact, what this throughout my whole years as a trauma cleaner, what it teaches me that, you just have to be prepared and move on. Whatever negativity or whatever that actually pulls you back, right, you just embrace it. Because at the end of the day, eventually you're also going to die.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or you don't like it, whether you are healthy or not healthy, young or old, eventually you will die. So for me, I always share with my wife, my kids, always embrace life. No matter how hard life is, right, just take it and just go. So because basically for us, we know that, for me, I would say that it's not, I never intended myself to be a trauma cleaner. Okay, it just come for me as a calling. But for yourself, have you planned that you're going to be doing what you're doing, or is also a calling for yourself?
I always describe I'm an accidental funeral director. My dad passed away 21 years ago, and I just graduated from uni, not knowing what I wanted to do in life. So I just stumbled on the first job, which was a logistics firm. And I was working for 1.5 years. Then my dad, he didn't suffer fast. He didn't suffer for very long. So pretty much within 3 months, and he passed away. So after he passed away, that's when I then stepped in. That's why I say I'm an accidental funeral director. Because back then, who would want a funeral director?
Your dad was in the funeral industry?
Yeah, he was in a funeral director. He's a very old name, old brand name. So when he was working in his business, we never had a chance to see how he worked or to follow him, because we are female. You're not supposed to touch the body. There's a lot of
superstition.
Yeah, superstitious. Women cannot.
This one cannot.
Correct.
Right?
You see, you can
We're like girls, I think we understand. We have some restriction. Usually they will push the boys. More
the
than
boys
the girls.
go. So I think when I came in, I saw a lot of things I didn't like. But that time too young, then my dad's worker who fight with him, started the business together for 30 over years. Of course, they look at this young little girl, tell me to do all these things. I'm not going to listen.
They cannot accept, ego.
Then always tell me hey, please, I eat more salt than you eat your rice, okay?
Yes,
you don't tell me to change. And they don't like to change. So it took a while, but I think that also helped me to broaden up my mind that when you talk about you have all the policies. So I went into financial advisory first, because my dad was not prepared like you. My dad is a man with no education, only primary 6 education. So then I realized when he passed, he didn't have anything prepared. No will, no funeral instruction, even though he's a funeral director. And because of his lack of preparation, that also kickstart my whole journey of how do we help? How do I help people to be more prepared? So I remember after my dad's funeral, then we have to figure out actually what happens after the funeral. You would think that funeral is the end. Actually, it's not the end, it's the beginning. Now you need to live life differently. The dynamics in the family changes. So the patriarch is no longer there. So then my mom was grieving, of course. So then who to who to become whole, right?
Strong,
so then I have to play that role, because I have 2 younger siblings still in school. My elder sis had a very good job, so I told her, don't quit. I'll come in to help my mom. So I think there was a lot of learning. So at a young age, when people are partying, go to Zouk or whatever, I wasn't. I was really on standby on my phone. Go to mortuary. You 3 a.m. go to Zouk, finish your Zouk, go party, then go supper. I'm actually at the mortuary, because I wanted to learn what do people do behind the scene. Example, I don't want to be I told my mom, I'm not going to sit in the office and then just take order. I want to see what's behind the scene. I want to learn, because in my logistics company, that really helped me to know that, you need to learn how the entire product move from this country to this country. Who are the people that goes into the work? So I was very curious. So I told my mom, I'm going to go to the mortuary. So middle of the night, you got a phone call. I said, okay, I go already, I drive. And then at that age, people are enjoying, or maybe they enjoy the first job. I was really diving into the work, and I don't have time for friends. So I don't even have time to go out, because that to me was, I need to save my family first. And then I think it was in 2009, after being in the financial advisory, I had a chance to go to Hong Kong to see a funeral expo. So it was the first Asia funeral expo. And then my mind was blown. I was like, wow, you mean there's a funeral expo for us? So we went. Actually, I told my elder sister, I said, you go with me. My mom was very upset with me. She's like, I told you to stay out of this business, you still come back. So I told her, I want to go and see. So at that trip, I really saw a lot of things that's happening. The time globalization, right? Not just Singapore, but you get to see what other countries are doing. And then I told myself, oh, maybe this is, the calling started to come. And actually now, if I look back at my life, whatever I go through in my life is actually preparing me for now. You know, the death of my dad really teach me how to live my life. Then, you know, why I go into financial, and then now how I started my own company, why I want to celebrate life. And then all the experiences I have is actually just teaching me what is my purpose. So it's really to open up the conversation that actually death, like you said earlier, you know, we all, the minute we are born, we reach that day. Confirm guarantee chop. You siam and siam, but
cannot escape.
Cannot escape
Come to
because
you, correct.
time is
it will
up,
come.
it's up.
Yeah.
But because just now when you say behind the scene, right, I quite how should I say? I want to find out on your side, right? The things that you see that the society is not able to see behind the scene.
Yeah.
You know, especially the family members. You know, for us,
We have seen
we have seen
a lot.
whereby you know we can see the families quarreling in front of who wants to pay for it. You know, the
Can claim insurance? Sorry,
that's like-
curious.
claim insurance. I so far I don't think so lah.
So even for trauma cleaning, they will fight. Who pay?
Who pay? Yeah, we see that. We see a lot of things. So for your field, right? So do you see what the society don't see or not? That you can
I
share?
do. I think behind the scene, so we have a service which is the Showers of Love, where we get family members to spend time with their loved ones before they're in coffin. So a little bit like, you know, for Muslim, we do the ritual cleansing, then family members can spend time. So we do for a lot of family. Actually, that's where we want the family to show express all their emotion out, pour out the emotion, things they don't want to say, so that they have lesser regrets. Because once they are in coffin and placed to the wake venue, they don't have the opportunity to hold the hand, right, or to sayang the hair, or like do things for them. So we actually use this as a way to help them. But there are times where during that period, you already see there's arguments, tension. Recently, we had one where the three siblings, you already know who is the power, right? You can see the power play.
tell.
Like, I can tell one. Then, so I wasn't there, but I saw the CCTV because my funeral director was arranging. So, and I can hear like, oh my God, there's like shouting. So the elder sis was saying something. The second brother was like telling her off. The younger sister was just crying. And I think she probably feel like, oh, I'm so trapped. I'm still handling this. So I could see the CCTV and hear the conversation. So after that, what we generally do is, instead of getting them on the head, you know, talking about all this conflict, we actually bring them back to the heart center. And said, if today mom is sitting here, and she is, actually she's just next door.
Yes.
Do you
Her
think
body
she will
is
want
there,
to see all of you doing
Exactly,
this?
yeah, correct.
And then when you suddenly get them to soften and come back, I say, I think this is what they would not want to see, as she wants to see. Maybe let's revisit.
Last moment.
Yeah, what should we do? And let's work together. Because I have ever had a funeral where I took care of a gentleman who has 3 wives.
Wow.
And then you know, Chinese, we don't have the culture,
no
right?
polygamy.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's the first and the second family are very close. Then the youngest family, the third family, the son is almost as old as the grandson of the first two family, right?
Okay.
So when the patriarch passed away, I was activated again, because when their mom passed away, I was activated. But sadly, the husband didn't come for, I don't know why. Or I also didn't ask. The husband was not present for the funeral. So they all never invite the third family.
Okay.
So I knew there was a bit of a tension already. Wow, this tension, how to be in between. So as the role of a funeral director, actually I can hands off, because my role is to do a funeral directing.
It's not your issue
It's
here.
not.
Yes.
But then I remember in the table, wow, it's very heated, this family, then this family. So then I just say, actually my role is very simple. I just want to give your dad a beautiful farewell, a meaningful one that means a lot to all of you. So whatever differences, maybe we set aside. And then for the next 5 to 7, that time we haven't decided how many days. I said for the next 5 to 7 days, I just hope that y'all will come in harmony and let's send him off the way he deserves. So, okay, maybe let's revisit again. Where should the wake be? Then I make some proposal. So then it was better. So I remember during the wake, they don't talk to each other. And then I have to be the messenger, So I have to sit with the family. So, okay, where do you think the final resting place would be? How do you want it? Okay, this is what we want. Okay, so I get what you want. Okay, let me go to the third family. And then I ask. So I was like the mediator, no? Then after that, come to a consensus. So there was no big dispute during that 7 days. Though that give me, set the stage for me. Okay, I want just peace. But you do see there are tensions on underlying current. Sometimes during funeral, they resolve it. But like one of my girlfriends, she never talked about her father since uni. It was only at the funeral, then I realized why. Because the father has a divorce. They went through divorce, but she's... she, very egoistic. She didn't want us to know she actually had the parents had a divorce. So then I met the other family. So actually after the cremation, they all hug each other. Like I thought, oh wow, what a happy ending, right?
Yeah,
you think,
correct.
wow,
They hug each other.
happy ending. Oh, should be no problem. A few months later, then I went to ask her. I said, how's everything with your, your step siblings, right? She's like, wow, my dad never leave me a single cent. All give to the son, the other side. Then I was like, so she started to complain about things. Then I realized, actually, I often think about when I leave, right? What do I leave behind? Do I leave a pile of mess, right? Or do I leave things clearly? And that's where you realize, people who are prepared and not prepared, right? So, like having to be a trauma cleaner and then also seeing like different personality and all that. Has there been any changes the way you look at people?
No, we don't. For us, because when we are in this line, right, we are no longer judgmental. We don't, even though we see the ugly side of the society, we see the good side of the society, we take both. We learn from both the ugly and the good, both from the deceased and the living. So when we take whatever that we can learn from, we impart it to my family and my children.
Yes.
Because for me, at the end of the day, it's about we want to know what are our needs, to differentiate our needs and our wants. We need to be contented in life. Because you see, when we go, when in life, right, it's all, if you were to see how life is being projected, right, it's all about waiting. Okay, I mean, I don't know whether we want to agree or not to agree. But for me, ever since when you are inside your mother's womb, okay, your parents are waiting for your arrival. You are waiting for yourself to come out. And then when you already been delivered safely, you are waiting to go school, then from school to work. Everything is about waiting. And in that waitingness, what do you plan? What do you want to achieve? How's your whatever arrangement that you have done to achieve whatever that you want? So it's all about that waitingness. So within that waitingness, it's either you make a good choice or a bad choice. And whatever choices that you make, it comes with consequences. You get what I mean? So, and this is not only about yourself, it's a domino effect. Whatever choices that you make will actually have a certain impact on the ones surrounding you. So that's why, to me, I don't feel, okay, when I see people, I see them as people. I don't judge. Whether you are good, you are bad. I just take the good from you and the bad I learn from you.
That's good. Same for you, Sarina.
Yeah, because for us, right, because we cannot judge them also because we don't know what they went through. So at least whatever from their sharing and from what we see, so we learn bit here and there. Yeah, so sometimes when we reach home, we sit at a dinner with the kids. So sometimes we do share some of our experience. So that's how, and then we will tell them, in future, if anything happens, try not to, make any the arguments or the communication longer. Try to reconcile one side as soon as possible. You must remember you all are siblings.
You must know the family values. You must instill the family values.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's very important.
Because if you don't have that family value as a pillar, they don't. Well,
They are not rooted.
Yes, they are not rooted. If they see
They're not in
it
line.
as a pillar, right? Yeah, they know that, okay, I should go back to the family, whatever that my parents taught me.
They can go as far as they want to, but at the end of the day, they know where they
They
Come
can
home.
come
Come
back.
from,
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is one nugget of wisdom that you hope to leave with the listeners?
The nugget of wisdom. Actually, for what I learned, right, throughout our trauma cleaning is what we say just now, is the family value. Yes, because if there's no family value, right, that you instill in your family, anything goes wrong, right? Is what we see like is not really a very good ending. If you instill a very strong family value in yourself and then the bonding and the relationship, right? Anything, no matter how bad or how the arguments can be like, you know that you will come back to each other. So if you instill them that in your family, right? We think it might be a lesser problem in the future because communication is the key.
It's communication actually.
Yeah.
So everything comes to communication. How you communicate. Sometimes what we learn, right? All this separation is due to miscommunication. You are not able to communicate well. So communication is key.
Yeah.
Then maintaining that relationship.
Yeah, so sometimes it's better to over communicate. Otherwise, I assume, but actually that person has another intention, but they don't communicate.
Yeah. Because sometimes we see people want to say because of maybe they scared to voice out. Yeah, they see the differences in other people. Yeah, that's why they choose to stay silent. But if you are very open, you communicate with each other, right? You can address it correctly. This person also will able to release themselves. At least, they don't feel the burden that they keep inside their heart.
Yeah, I think I want to also to ask you, for your point of view, what do you see the flaws of the society and how we can actually address it?
I think that we focus a lot on material.
Correct.
Materialism. I think there's a lot more deeper, like spiritually. Because just now when you say you see everybody as equal, actually I see there are people who ask me, hey, how come you can talk to anybody? Like people who are rich, people who are poor, people who are I kepo lah, hawker center uncle. I also talk because I feel I want them to be seen. Right. And like yesterday when I was talking to the Grab uncle, wow, we had a great chat, Then he's like, thanks for talking to me because nobody really talked to a driver. And I said, yeah, I think that makes a difference when you let them be seen and that maybe that could make that day. Correct. So that then we maybe judge people like, oh, what bag they carry, what shoe they wear, and then you start to form a judgment. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Clean Your Toilet podcast.
Okay, discover your true definition of purpose in life and discover your inner self.
Nice. Yay! Thank you.
Thank you.